Alrighty, good evening, guys. Alrighty, well, I was actually going to try to change the, yeah, the original picture there. Um, However, big guy, we've got you done. Triple B in Dallas, Texas, I believe. All right, so we finished this up actually last night. Thankfully, I had a fairly easy night at work, so no long night and all that good stuff. Which usually, whenever they have to pay you double time, they don't like you to work past 8 hours for some reason. Hmm, Imagine that. But anyhow, I got your high-low put in, and I wanted to kind of show you a few of the little, quirks about doing something like this. It's a great thing, but you have to remember if you're running a linear, it is going to change a few things. So let's go ahead and get through this here. Let me see if I can get the arm out. And I don't know if I can get the radio and the meters at the same time here. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah. Get some of this glare off. All right. Good evening, everybody. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. Let's see. Let's close that for now. All righty. Good evening, Mr. Chad Jolly. I see you were literally burning the midnight oil just like myself here yesterday or this morning. Yeah, eventually you will. If I'd have thought about it I would have actually done this for you as well. This way it would have given you two different ways to use one radio for the same type of tune because of the way the format is set up on this. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. All right, so my voice isn't quite the same as what it normally was, so I may not get quite as good at numbers on high as what I did the other day. But I'm going to go ahead and start this up. I've got a 100-watt slug in 1x position for our peak and a 25-watt in the RMS. Okay, all this is going back to the 5,000-watt bird dummy load. So let's take a look at the carrier first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this up to 5. And the reason why is to make life nice and easy as far as on looking at the different numbers. I do have this set to high, and I put a nice bright yellow sticker up here so that you realize exactly what this switch is, and so you can look down and know whether you're on high and low. All right, so on high, using your variable, you're going to have a 5-watt dead key, just for an example right now. Now we flip this back to normal, which is your low power. You're going to see that it's going to drop down to a 2-watt carrier. Now, your variable still works, and you're only going to go up to about 4, roughly about 4 watts, which is still going to give you tons of drive. Now let's turn this down on low. We're going to turn that down to 1 watt. So now at 1 watt, I'm sure my gain's up. Audio. So you're going to get about 8.5 on the RMS. Peak numbers, you're still going to have really good peak numbers. Hello, hello, hello. Audio. 48. Now, let's go back to high. Now, remember, we're at a 1 watt dead key on low power. So that's going to turn you up to 2 watt there. So it's not quite double. It kind of depends on what the average range that you're at. So at 2 watt dead key, audio, 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 audio. So about 13. But excuse me. So like I say, it kind of depends on where you're at. We'll turn this down to 1 watt. Hello, 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 audio, audio. And we got our 15 bird. So, some of it, like I said, just has to do with the tone of the voice. That's just like, I know, you know, I'm going to use you, Chad, for a perfect example. You know, he's got certain tones that, man, he can, you know, get, you know, 2,000 watts out of a out of an amplifier in a heartbeat, just because of the tone of his voice. So tones are very, very important. That's the reason why usually what I do is I'll go ahead and I'll make a few modifications on the input audio to go ahead and increase the physical bandwidth of the radio, so that your microphone, you know, as it's picking up the human voice, it's able to go ahead and pick up the largest spectrum of, you know, of your voice that's being transmitted on there. Um, you know, for example, you know, you take the same radio that's doing 15 bird, you put a woman behind this thing's probably going to do 16, 16 and a half, because they've got that special tone. So most men at that point have that tone, you know, zeroed out in their ears, and they can't hear that tone. But anyhow, you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, different tones change the, you know, change the whole aspect ratio. So, while we've still got this on high, I'm going to do another quickie here. We're going to turn this all the way up. So you're going to have 11 bird all the way wide open. You're going to see that fall way back to 4 watts. So bear in mind whenever you're setting up your equipment. You know, there was another way that I could have done this, which it was going to stifle the audio. And for me to get the RMS down enough, it really stifled the audio. Because I could have actually went ahead and modified the limiter with a high-low switch as far as on the audio. But it was just too anemic. It was either all or nothing, because there's that sweet spot in between. So I had to go back and, you know, play with the other aspect, where it would allow me to work with, you know, the overall output. So, you know, like I said, you know, so you're going to have great numbers all the way up. Like I said, you're looking at about 4 watts dead key. Hello, audio. And you're going to get 10 bird. So, you know, you're still going to have some good RMS no matter what you do, whether you're on low power. Let's see, let's go half. Audio. And there's 9 RMS, which is really good, actually. You know, high power. Back that back down to 1.5 watts. Audio. And there's our 15, if I'm able to hit that certain tone. So anyways, like I said, just wanted to give you a quick, you know, yeah. Yeah, you do have a nice bassy voice, and that's what helps. You know, there's 2 points, and mine's not high enough, and mine's not low enough to hit those, you know, hit those real good sweet notes, that gives me the, you know, numbers that I'd like to see. Now, I could do the cheaters way, and I don't. You know, because I mean, I do have signal and audio generators that would actually generate a tone. Again, you can do that as well. You can take an amplifier that, you know, generally you're going to see about 600 peak out of it, and you're going to see maybe 800 peak. That same amplifier that does 400 bird, you might see 650 on the RMS. And it's kind of fake numbers. I mean, they're real numbers, but they're fake numbers because you're using not the human voice. You know, you've actually, you know, pinpointed, you know, the specific frequency, and that's all you're generating directly into the audio circuit of the radio in order to drive the amplifier. So, you know, it goes back to that whole smoke and mirrors thing. That's the reason why I'm really proud to see anybody that actually uses the human voice to show you the numbers, whether it be on the radio or whether it be on, you know, your amplifier. So bear that in mind whenever you're looking at videos. See whether or not they're using their voice, or if they're using, you know, animated electronics that is driving and oscillating the radio up to the highest, you know, the highest point for you to get those big numbers, you know, because that's not real world. You know, this is real world, the human voice. So anyways, like I said, I just wanted to get in there and do this quick video. I've got this one I got to get packed up, and triple B. I do have your relays, so, you know, got that taken care of. Anybody that would like to call me shortly after that, Let's see. But up here next to me, that sounds good on any radio. That jump bolts don't matter. You know, his voice is golden on any radio. Yeah, exactly. There are a couple of different people that no matter what, they've just got that perfect tone. But triple B, I've got your relay set off to the side. I've got your build almost done. I got to go back and revise a few things, and then add the I got to add the high low tone, and I got to figure in the relays that you wanted. Speaking of which, I ordered 100 of these, so I've got plenty of stock that's going to be coming in here within the next 7 to 10 days. Also, Teflon wire, I've got some of that should be here probably within the next 5 to 7 days, because they've already sent me notice that it's already sitting on the dock and ready to ship out. And I think that was Friday. My sissy, yeah, they're Friday, so it would have been our Saturday. So anyhow, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for popping in. Hopefully we can get in there a little bit sooner here this week. Hopefully my body's back on track, because it's been a really crazy week. Yeah, I definitely will. Because of the fact that I got my, going back and forth on the wire, and what you need, I do have yellow wire available. I do have some, if you guys really need it before I get my other shipment in. I do have some of my own personal stock that's over there on the wire rack. I've got plenty of yellow, and I do have some up here. If it's small quantities, that I can help you out with as well. So, but anyhow, like I said, I do have some. Like I said, I do have some as far as if you need it before I get my other shipment in. I did get, for those of you that are interested, if you tell me how much, I will give you an idea. I ordered this in order to go ahead and be able to measure off wire. Now, the great thing and bad thing about it is this was a great price. However, I didn't read the description quite clear enough. And I went back to look, and this one measures only in the metric system. So it's 1 meter at a time, which means if you order 10 feet of wire, for example, you're looking at about 3 meters. So it's going to be a little short of 10 feet. So bear that in mind if you're ordering wire. I'm going to be selling it, and I can calculate it pretty close as far as on the metric system, because I can go like 3.5 meters and stuff like that. So it'll be just either a little over or a little under, depending on what you want. But I'm going to be doing it all on the metric system. That's why I have to buy the wire is in the metric format, but also I'll be selling it that way. This was $100, but I bought the American Standard version. It was going to be about $450. So yeah, so it's just easier to do the mathematics. And like I said, you're only looking at, depending on what size or how much you want, you're only looking at a couple of feet difference. But I can calculate it out pretty close with this. So, all right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to get off here so I can get the bill finished up on this, get this packed, and I've got one other item I got to get packed and sent out in the morning whenever I get home. So, anyhow, Triple B, hopefully you enjoy this. Like I said, just bear in mind, your dead key will change based on which one you use. So as long as you're using a watt meter, which with the type of equipment you've got, you should be able to, relatively figure out where you're at as far as on this. But I just wanted to mainly point that out, that there is going to be a difference on your physical dead key, not just the output power, but your physical dead key is also going to change. So bear that in mind whenever you're setting up your system and what you're doing with it. So, as long as you've got meters, shouldn't be a problem to go ahead and adjust this based on what your needs are. But All right, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, I want to get this done, and I've still got to go to work tonight. Has to do with those long hours. However, um, I do have tomorrow. I will probably get started. I do have a brand new build coming up that I'll be working on. It's going to be a power supply, so got to get that laid out, and it'll actually be a kind of a cool one because it's going to be using those new power supplies. We're going to try it out. But anyhow, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for popping in, and we will catch you on the flip flop.